Hi, this is Priya Gokhale. I'm the chief editor and publisher of a beautiful design magazine called designVISTA. I'm going to tell you a beautiful story today. This story is of a 34-year-old businessman who came to Los Angeles from Chicago on an early morning flight. It was too early to do anything. It was too late to go to sleep. So what did he do? He saw a pretty nice looking hotel across the road, and he went there. He stepped into a cafe called Fat Eddie's. Okay, the name of this young businessman is J. Pritzker. We are talking about 1957 America, and Jay belongs to a very influential and wealthy American family of businessmen. So Jay walks into this cafe and he has a coffee, and there is something that is surprising. He sees that the cafe is full of people, so it's obviously very popular, but the hotel is for sale. What does he do? He actually doesn't want to enter hoteling, but he trusts his hunch. He suspects that there is something in this. His inner voice tells him that there is an opportunity here, and he decides to buy the hotel. There's a problem. Mr. J. Pritzker actually, though he's on a business trip, he doesn't have his checkbook with him. So what does he do? He signs his proposal, his offer, on a hotel napkin. The offer amount, $2.2 million. He makes his proposal, he has a meeting with the owner right there, and the deal is done. The hotel now belongs to Mr. J. Pritzker. This, we are talking about 1957. Let's move on 10 years hence. It's 1967 now. Again, an interesting situation. This time we are talking about the city of Atlanta. There's a hotel here which has been designed by architect John Portman. The hotel is up for sale, but nobody wants to buy it. The reason? The reason is the atrium inside the hotel. All of you know that an atrium today is something that every international hotel has to have. It's basically a huge volume. When you walk into the hotel, you have a coffee shop on the ground floor, you have the reception area, beautiful ambience, and an atrium which is a huge volume. The atrium for this particular hotel that I'm talking about was 22 stories high. So we are talking about a space which is 250 feet in height. And why this hotel was not being sold is also extremely interesting. At this time in 1967, there were people who actually thought that water droplets will condense at that height and result in rain showers. And that's why this hotel was looked at with some kind of criticism or some kind of negative comments. You will not believe it, there was a hotel magnate, a big hotel baron, who actually called the hotel a concrete monster. And therefore, the hotel was not being sold. Mr. J. Pritzker saw this hotel, he was impressed by it, he loved it. He said, I have never seen a hotel like this, and he bought it. Now there were two different reasons why this man bought each of these hotels. In the first case, he recognized that in the times to come, every jet-setting executive would want a place to stay which was next to the airport, and that's why he bought it. In the second case, he realized that what people saw as something weird or strange in the atrium was actually a design tool or a method of designing that would rapidly become popular. In both cases, he trusted his gut instinct, he knew about design, he appreciated aesthetics, and that's why he bought it. Now, who was this man and what were the hotels that he bought? Friends, I come to the icing on the cake. Each of the hotels that Mr. J. Pritzker was or bought became what today we know as the Hyatt Empire. So the Hyatt hotels across the world, which own more than 90 different, maybe more than 200 different properties across the globe, are all owned not by any Hyatt but by the Pritzker family. Only the first hotel was owned by Mr. Robert von Hyatt, and it was bought by J. Pritzker for $2.2 million, and the entire Hyatt Empire is owned by the Pritzker family. But nobody knows about the Pritzker. Everybody knows it's a Hyatt Empire. The reason I'm telling you is this, because we come 10 years back again. We come to 1979. Mr. J. Pritzker is now a very established professional, a businessman. The Pritzker family has interest in virtually all the sectors of business. Now Mr. J. Pritzker in 1979 realized that there's no global award to the something like what the Nobel is, which appreciates good architecture. So he dedicates $1 lakh a year to a prize which will celebrate good architecture happening across the globe. And friends, today this is what we call the Pritzker Prize for Architecture, which is not only the most coveted, but it's the most respected, one of the richest awards given globally to architecture. And as Indians, we should feel extremely proud that in 2018, it is B.V. Doshi who received the Pritzker Prize for Architecture. Wide Angle Forum was lucky enough to go to Ahmedabad, to meet him, to have a very close interaction with him. We also published an article, we had a program as a tribute to B.V. Doshi. You can catch this function, whatever happened there, whatever people spoke about B.V. Doshi, on the YouTube channel of Wide Angle Forum. Friends, what do we learn from this? We learn firstly to trust your gut instinct. There is an inner voice which tells you, based on your experience, it's not guesswork, mind you, it tells you that yes, there is an opportunity here, there is something good happening here, and I have to grab it. The second thing is, Mr. Pritzker was a humble man. He was more interested in the work that could be done rather than having a name. When somebody asked him, Mr. Pritzker, why aren't you renaming all your hotels as the Pritzker Group? Why have you still kept the name Hyatt? Mr. J. Pritzker remarked, it's not the name. Anyway, Pritzker is difficult to pronounce. What's the problem in retaining the name? Last and most important, the Pritzker Prize for Architecture is where his friends and well-wishers finally told him, Mr. Pritzker, now you have to have your name here. And that's why today we know of this award as the Pritzker Prize for Architecture. By doing this, the Pritzker family has become immortalized in the world of design and will continue to do so. As an architect myself, as a design publisher, as a writer, what I learned from this also is sometimes you have to have a thorough knowledge of aesthetics, of creativity, of design along with your business, and it's the combination of all this that really makes you a good individual who can give back and be something that your society will be proud of you. Thank you very much, and I hope you like this small sharing of mine. Do go to the Wide Angle Forum YouTube channel to know more. Thanks a lot. Have a great day. Stay blessed. Stay happy.